Let's go, Falcons fans. There's some buzzworthy news about our team circulating online, and we're here to break it all down. But first, tell me, which player do you want to see wearing a Falcons jersey next season? Which star should the team bring in to secure a brighter future? Drop your thoughts in the comments, click the like button, and follow for all the latest updates. Now, let's dive into the big news about Kyle Pitts and what GM Terry Fontenot had to say about his future in Atlanta. Once considered a game-changing draft pick, Kyle Pitts is now at a crossroads in his career with the Falcons. His rookie season was electric, with over 1,000 receiving yards. But since then, his production has taken a noticeable dip, raising some serious questions. This season, Pitts recorded 47 catches for 602 yards and 4 touchdowns. Solid numbers? Sure, but not what you'd expect from a top-5 draft pick. Fontenot didn't hold back in his end-of-season press conference. He acknowledged Pitts hasn't matched the lofty expectations set by his rookie year. When you draft a player that high, you expect a certain level of production, Fontenot stated. Kyle had a great rookie year, but he hasn't matched or exceeded those numbers since. That's not to say it's all doom and gloom. Pitts has had some bright moments, like his standout performance in October. During that stretch, he recorded 21 catches for 314 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a clutch score against Tampa Bay. However, that level of production faded in the second half of the season. Over the past 13 games, Pitts managed just 26 catches for 288 yards and 2 touchdowns, far from the consistent impact player Atlanta needs. Coach Raheem Morris still believes in Pitts' explosive potential, even comparing him to former Pro Bowl wide receiver Deshaun Jackson. Kyle has the ability to make game-changing plays with limited touches, Morris said, but even big play potential can't make up for a lack of consistent production. For instance, Pitts only had 2 games this season with more than 5 receptions. The Falcons' offense isn't exactly short on weapons. Drake London led the team with 1,271 receiving yards, while Darnell Mooney came close to hitting 1,000. Even Ray McCloud and rookie Bijan Robinson made strong contributions in the passing game. But when you draft a tight end 4th overall, you expect him to be a primary offensive threat, not just an occasional playmaker. Here's the reality check. Pitts ranked 16th among tight ends in targets, 22nd in receptions, and 13th in yards. His advanced metrics tell a similar story. ESPN Analytics ranked his open rate 148th out of 154 qualified receivers. While Pitts has shown flashes of brilliance, the consistency just hasn't been there. The Falcons have picked up Pitts' 5th-year option, guaranteeing him $10.9 million in 2025. Now, the big question remains. Can Kyle Pitts rediscover his rookie-year form and prove he's worth the investment? Only time will tell. The message is clear. This is a make-or-break season for Kyle Pitts. GM Terry Fontenot emphasized that Pitts needs to focus on maximizing his potential this offseason. Just like any other player, Kyle has to make sure he's doing everything he can to be the best version of himself next season, Fontenot said. It's up to us as a team to support him, but he also has to put in the work. So, Falcons fans, what do you think? Should Atlanta keep faith in Pitts and hope for a breakout season, or is it time to explore other options? On another hot topic for Falcons fans, the pass rush. It's no secret this has been a persistent issue for years. The season started rough, with Atlanta ranking dead last in sacks through the first 11 weeks. However, things turned around after the bye week, with the Falcons tied for 2nd in sacks over the final 6 games. But is that improvement enough? Fontenot addressed the inconsistency during his postseason press conference, acknowledging the need for continued improvement. "We have pressure players, but we need to keep adding," he said. "We've shown progress, but we need to take the next step." 2 players stood out in his comments: outside linebacker Arnold Ebiketie and inside linebacker Caden Ellis. Ebiketie led the team with 6 sacks, 5 of which came after the bye week. Ellis contributed a team-high 16 QB hits, along with 5 sacks. While there's talent to develop, it's not yet enough for sustained dominance in a tough NFC South. So, what's next? The Falcons hold the 15th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, and Fontenot hinted they might trade up to gain more draft capital. Atlanta also has picks in the 2nd, 4th, and 7th rounds. Remember, the team has found top talent in these ranges before, drafting players like A.J. Terrell and Chris Lindstrom. Could this be the year they land a franchise pass rusher? With a defense-heavy draft class, there should be plenty of options available. Free agency is another route. Atlanta traded for veteran Matthew Judon after losing rookie Braxton Tatum to a season-ending injury. Judon, despite finishing with 5.5 sacks, below his career average, was solid under the circumstances. However, Judon, along with Lorenzo Carter and James Smith-Williams, is set to hit free agency. Carter started 11 games but failed to record a sack, while Judon led the team with 5.5 sacks and 9 QB hits. Smith-Williams added 24 tackles but managed only 1 sack before landing on injured reserve. If the Falcons want to make a splash, there are some big names hitting the market. Khalil Mack, Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, and Chase Young are all potential impact players. But with just $4 million in available cap space, tough decisions are ahead. Fontenot acknowledged the challenge, saying, "We have a vision for this team. We haven't won enough yet, and that has to change." So, Falcons fans, what do you think? Should the team focus on the draft, or go all in on signing a free agent edge rusher? Let's shift gears now and discuss why re-signing Rondale Moore could be crucial for the team heading into 2025. The Falcons made a bold move last offseason, acquiring wide receiver Rondale Moore from the Arizona Cardinals in exchange for quarterback Desmond Ridder. Moore was expected to be a dynamic third option in the receiving corps, behind Darnell Mooney and Drake London. Unfortunately, disaster struck during a joint practice with the Miami Dolphins on August 7th. Moore suffered a non-contact knee injury that landed him on injured reserve, ending his season before it even began. But when one door closes, another opens. Stepping up in Moore's absence was Ray McCloud III, who had the best season of his career. Known primarily for his return skills in the past, McCloud became a key offensive contributor. He caught 62 passes for 686 yards on 87 targets, proving himself to be a reliable target for the Falcons. Still, Atlanta should strongly consider giving Moore another shot despite McCloud's breakout year. Let's talk about Moore's potential. When healthy, Moore has shown flashes of elite playmaking ability. Since 2022, he ranks 4th in the NFL in yards after catch, YAC, with an impressive average of 6.4 yards per reception, tied with standout receiver Puka Nacua. Compare that to the Falcons' 2023 receiving corps, which averaged just 3.7 YAC, the 4th lowest in the league at the time. Even with McCloud's emergence boosting that number to 5.4 last season, Moore's upside is undeniable. Don't forget Moore's raw athleticism. At his 2021 Pro Day, he clocked an impressive 4.29-second 40-yard dash and recorded a 42.5-inch vertical leap. Speed, explosiveness, and agility. These are the tools that could make him a perfect big play threat for quarterback Michael Penix Jr. The Falcons' offense lacks a consistent deep threat, and Moore fits that mold perfectly. Some fans might wonder if McCloud's success makes Moore unnecessary. But here's the thing, there's room for both. Moore brings additional versatility, not just as a receiver, but also in the return game. Atlanta's primary punt returner, Avery Williams, is set to hit free agency this offseason. While Williams has been solid, he hasn't contributed much on offense. Moore, on the other hand, has the skill set to do both. He could step in as a punt returner and an offensive weapon, sharing kick return duties with McCloud. By keeping both players, the Falcons could add even more depth and dynamism to their roster. The Falcons would strengthen their receiving depth while maximizing their return game, an area that often makes the difference in tight contests. McCloud has undoubtedly earned his place, but Moore's potential playmaking ability can't be ignored. So, Falcons fans, what do you think? Should Atlanta bring back Rondale Moore for a shot at redemption, Or has Ray McCloud solidified his position enough to move on without Moore? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications to stay up to date. Go Falcons!